It's a really solid Telltale experience. I'd recommend it if you can actually get your hands on this. So, okay, so this shows who you side with. Kindred spirits 100% with Gamora, 100% friendship with Groot, 33% misfired relationship with Rocket, 40% Drax lost in translation, whatever that means. State of the Galaxy, Meredith deceased, Mantis is free. There's an option to not have Mantis free? I didn't know that. Oh, probably if the Eternity Forge still exists? I don't know. Nebula's dead, Hala's... yeah. And Baldwin's the son that came back to life and then died. You and 100% of players tried to put the Guardians first. I doubt that it was 100%, so that's probably wrong, but the other numbers seem kind of right. 62% destroyed the Eternity Forge. 75% prioritized the survival of your team by letting Drax sacrifice himself. Now, that's a little surprising, but I think it's just because of... it just makes a lot of sense, you know? Like, in the moment. If you saw that scene, or if you played it yourself, you know what I'm talking about. 94% let Nebula stay. Yeah, I mean, why not? 47% of players prioritize Rocket's dilemma over capturing Nebula. Fuck yeah. 47, it should be more. 62% destroyed the Eternity Forge to the chagrin of Rocket, so he didn't like that. But 75% let Drax sacrifice himself, prevented Groot from being injured. Resilient Gamora. You and 24% warned Gamora against contacting Nebula again. 45% followed Rocket instead of pursuing Nebula. 94% tried to mend Gamora and Nebula's relationship by asking her to stay. No romance choice was included, though, in that whole thing. Because she rejected me. Story of my life. 94% reassured Drax that he got his revenge. And he did. 62% prioritized the galaxy over resurrecting Drax's family by destroying the Forge. 75% were convinced by Drax's plea and allowed him to... yeah. 87% allowed him to keep his tree. Those 13% of people are fucking crazy. And it's another 62%. It's like 62 for all these middle choices, so the numbers might be a little busted. Destroyed the Eternity Forge. Oh, no, it's about destroying the Forge. Never mind. 99% shook Groot's hand. 0.7% of players didn't shake his hand. Can you imagine not shaking Groot's hand? I gave him a hug, too, because you have to give a hug, too. Gamora Protector, Rocket Hacker, Drax the Distractor, Groot the Retriever. 70% went after Drax for... yeah, you have to if you know that he's alive, right? 86% felt mostly positive about the Guardians. 64% let Hala be consumed. Well, what other option was there to kill her, I guess? Or to just not do the whole thing with, by not destroying it, right? And keeping it, I guess. Okay. And then 66% had a final moment with Meredith Quill. And that's the end. Or is it? I mean, it's basically the end. Is that Thanos? It's fucking Thanos. A fucking teaser for the season 2 that we never got and we never will. Sad, but that's how it is. So he would have revived Thanos, which I guess makes sense as far as the plan is concerned for, like, the future, right? Because Thanos got shot and he died very easily in, like, the first few minutes of the game, right? So it's like, okay, that's, a lot of people I remember when it came out were shocked about that, like about Thanos and how easy it was to kill him, knowing who Thanos is and how big of a deal he is in Marvel. Is he's just able to fucking shoot him and he's dead and that's it. Well, clearly they intended for there to be more with that, right? But we'll never see that. Same thing with Game of Thrones Season 2, because they teased, at the very end, they did something similar. They teased the end of, like, they teased more Game of Thrones, pretty much. But we're never going to get that either, so... Big sad. It sucks, but... Another playthrough finished! Hell yeah. It took me a little while to get through that, over a year, because the channel was on hiatus for a long time. But it was great. It was great coming back to this game, and I plan on playing more Telltale games. I'm probably going to go and switch it up and maybe play some Life is Strange, or some of the Quantic Dream games to kind of change it up and not just go like straight Telltale all the way. But it's nice having a game like this where you don't really have to think. You have to think about the choices, right? But as far as, like, the actual gameplay itself, it's just such a relaxing experience to just be able to, like, let go and unwind and kind of, like, play a game, but also not at the same time. So Telltale games are a very unique experience that I always appreciate and wish that... I mean, they're technically still around. I was going to say I wish that they were still around, but they technically are. But they're really not in a good situation. I mean, they're supposed to have Wolf Among Us 2, but I'm very doubtful. I think the game's been in development hell for years and years and years at this point. So I don't even know if that game's ever gonna release, but... not very optimistic for that. But, yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy was a lot of fun. And thank you all for tuning in to this playthrough.